Hello students, welcome back to our economics class. Today we are going to discuss two topics from unit number 5, that is characteristics of monopoly as well as the characteristics of duopoly. Before starting this point, let us just recall what we have read in the earlier class. We have discussed what are the classifications of market based on time, area and competition. Alright, then next class we have discussed what are the features of perfect competition, and from today onwards we are going to discuss what are the features of imperfect competition. In imperfect competition we have monopoly, duopoly, oligopoly and monopolistic competition. So from these 4 points we are going to discuss 2 points today, that is characteristics of monopoly competition as well as characteristics of duopoly competition. So let us see the first definition and then we'll go with the characteristics. Definition: monopoly is a different market. Monopoly is a different market situation when compared to perfect competition. When compared to perfect competition, monopoly is a totally different market situation, it seems. Alright, monopoly is a different market situation when compared with perfect competition. Is that clear? Like perfect competition is totally different when compared with monopoly. So in short, monopoly and perfect competition are totally different from each other. They do not match each other. Alright. Then monopoly. Mono means single. Mono means single. Poly means seller. Monopoly means single seller. Alright. Mono means single and poly means seller. The term monopoly means single seller. That means there is only sole producer. Sole producer means only one producer for a commodity. Alright. Then there are no close substitutes. There are no close substitutes. For example, tea and coffee are substitutes. Am I right? If prices of tea are rising, then people will purchase coffee. Alright, like thumbs up and Sprite, both are substitute. If prices of thumbs up will increase the price, then people will go and purchase Sprite. So these two are very close substitute. But monopoly market, in a monopoly market, a monopolist will produce such kinds of goods which are not having any close substitute. For example, a water bottle is not having any close substitute. Yeah, the companies may be different, but water is not having any other substitute. Alright. Then characteristics. A single firm produces the goods in the market. Only single firm will produce goods in the market. More than one firm will not produce the goods. Alright, like in large firms what will happen, if the quantity you need to produce more, then you will be taking the help from more number of firms. But here the situation is not like that. As we have read that monopoly means, mono means single. Everything will be single over here. So only single means what? Can I say one is same as single? If I say one marker, the meaning is same. If I say a single marker, the meaning is same. So here a single firm produces goods in the market. And the second characteristic says that good is not having any close substitute. For example, for industries also, electrical industries will be there. Alright, those who will taking care of all thermal electricity, hydroelectricity, etc. These are not having any close substitute. Electricity is not having any close substitutes. So monopolists are extremely smart sellers in the market they are the sole producers for their product, and their firm, only one firm will produce all the goods, all the profits will be of that one person only, plus he will manufacture such kind of goods which are not having any close substitute. Then there are strong barriers for entry and exit of firms. Strong barrier means there are restrictions. In perfect competition we have read that free entry and free exit. Any firm have the freedom to enter any time and exit any time. But here there is no freedom, there are strong barriers. No one can either enter and no one can either exit under monopoly market. Fine. That is the reason first point we have read. It is a different market situation when compared to perfect competition. Next, industry and firm are the same. There is no difference between industry and firm under monopoly. I have already disclosed the meaning of industry and firm. For example, this is a building and there are 2 portions on each floor. So totally how many portions I have drawn? 6 portions. So these 6 portions are nothing but firms, and the whole building is nothing but an industry. So according to monopoly's characteristics, the firm and industry are same. First point, both of them produces a single firm produces goods in the market. There are no close substitutes and there are strong barriers for entry and exit. Then industry and firm are same. The next point, producer controls price as well as quantity. So whoever producer is there, like as I said, there is only one producer. So whoever the producer is there, he can either control price or he can either control quantity. He can either control price or he can either control quantity. But simultaneously means at a time he cannot control both price and quantity. Is it clear? At a time I can teach you only one subject. Right now I am teaching you economics. With economics I cannot start Telugu or Sanskrit for you. Okay? At a time I can deal with only one subject. In the same way, at a time a producer can either control the price or he can either control the quantity, but both simultaneously a producer cannot control. So these are the 5 characteristics of monopoly. Let us see what are the characteristics of duopoly. It is a market where 2 producers exist in one firm. Where there are how many producers? Only 2 producers are there in the one market. In only one market there are 2 producers. This is the market and these are 1 producers plus 1 producers. Whereas in monopoly, in the whole market there is only 1 producer. Here we have 2 producers in one market. Then duopoly model had been developed in the year 1838. When this duopoly model have been developed? In the year 1838. By whom? By a French economist, Augustin Carnot. What is his name? Augustin Carnot is a name of French economist. In the year 1838 he have developed the concept of duopoly. Alright, duopoly means 2 sellers in one market. Who have developed the concept of duopoly? Sir Augustin Carnot, who is a French economist in the year 1838. Now let us see what are the characteristics. There are how many sellers in duopoly? There are 2 sellers. Duo means 2, poly means seller. D-U-O-P-O-L-Y. Duo means there are 2 persons Poly means there are two cellars, like mono, one, poly, cellar. In the same way, duo means two, poly means cellar. There are two cellars. The product is homogeneous. Homogeneous means identical, same size, same shape, same color, same quality, etc. That is called as homogeneous. So let me give you one tip. The opposite of homogeneous is heterogeneous. Heterogeneous means different. Homogeneous means same. The next point, there is zero production cost. There is no production cost in duopoly. Next point, sellers do not understand their interdependence. That means, as I said, there are two sellers. This seller will not depend on this one, and the second seller will not depend on the first seller. Let us recall all the 4 points. There are two sellers, then the product is homogeneous, there is zero production cost, and the sellers do not understand their interdependence. The characteristics of monopoly: single firm produces the good in the market, then there are no close substitutes, then there are strong barriers for entry and exit, then industry and firm are same. A producer can control either price or quantity at the same time, but simultaneously he cannot control both price and quantity. So what we have discussed in today's class, we have discussed monopoly characteristics as well as duopoly characteristics. In our next class, we are going to discuss characteristics of oligopoly. Alright, so see you in the next classes. Please note down all the points, write it for 2 to 3 times in your notebook and practice very well until and unless this whole concept you must be able to say to yourself without seeing and be able to write without seeing. Alright, see you in the next classes with some more and interesting topics. Till that, stay healthy, stay safe, and never stop practicing.